Hello and good afternoon. You are all well again for the class business environment. And the course code of this subject is MCOM 202. So you are all welcome again. Today is the second class for business environment. So in this class, we will cover Block 2, Economic Environment of Business. And under this block, there is 3 units. Unit 4, Significance and Elements, Economic Systems, Economic Planning in India, Government Policies, Industrial. Unit 5, Fiscal Monetary Exim, Public Sector and Economic Development, Development Banks and its relevance to Indian business. Unit 6, Economic Reforms, Liberalization and Structural Adjustment Programs, Regulations of Financial Markets, SEBI. So these are the actual topics for today's class. And in one hour class, we cannot explain all deeply. So we'll cover the entire block 2, and under this block there is 3 units. So don't worry, you should learn your SLM. And you have to study this yourself point-wise. If you have any doubt in any portion of this SLM, you can ask us, you can contact us, and you can clear your doubts. So don't worry, today first unit, in this unit actually significance and elements of economic means the business survival depends why actually economic environment of business. So the economic environment's significance and elements. So why business survival depends on environmental scanning. Why we need the economic environment, or why we will learn about significance and elements? Because business survival depends on environmental scanning, and the key elements of economical environment. This is economic condition, GDP, per capita income, inflation, economic policies like industrial, monetary, and fiscal policies, and economic systems are capitalism, socialism, and mixed economic system. So you today we are actually diving into the macro side of business. We will explore how the invisible hands of government and the visible hand of the market interact to shape the playground where Indian businesses operate. Okay, so significance and elements, and also why does the marketing manner care about GDP? Because it indicates purchasing power. We look at the internal environment within the firm and the external environment, the economy at large. You cannot steer a ship, steer a ship without knowing the current of the ocean. Okay, so this is the significance of economic environment. So now economic system, there is some comparison like system like capitalism, socialism, and mixed economic system. And in capitalism, the ownership type is private and the key driver is profit motive. Profit motive businesses. And in socialism, where the ownership is the state is the owner of a business, and here the key driver of the business is social welfare, actually the needs of society, needs of society. And in mixed economic system, ownership will be both private and state, and also key driver will be growth and equity. Growth, that should be growth. So India's choice actually mixed model, mixed economic system. There will be capitalism and socialism mixed together. Okay, so and survive together. Next is economic planning in India, or the economic planning in India, opportunity recognition and strategic planning and sustainable growth. In opportunity recognitions, the businesses is identify emerging market opportunities and cooperative threats on, and strategic planning facilitates informed decisions making and adaptation to charging market coordinations. So actually we moved from common economy where the government told you what to produce to an indicative system like Niti Aayog now acts as a think tank focusing on bottom-up growth rather than top mandates. Okay, so there is sustainable growth, either influence profitability and long-term survival of the farms there. Next, there is a nature of business environment. Nature of business environment. The specific forces like directly impact individual firms, invest investors and shareholders. In general, forces affected all businesses like broadly, and there will be political climate and stability. Like specific forces are actually customers and consumers behavior, competitions and market rivals, suppliers and vendors. In general forces, politics political climates and stability, social trends and values, technological advancements, legal and regulatory frameworks. So the environment remains uncontrollable, yet business must proactively adapt. Example, government policies on startup funding and social trends towards digital payments significantly mm, impact Indian each tech startups. Okay, so uh, we we moved from so I already said you that we moved from command economy, where the government told you what products to indicate in indicative system, and if we see the mm, uh, mm, the industrial policy evolution, mm, the and elements and dimension of business environment like economic, political, legal, socio-cultural, those environmental scanning, monitoring, and yeah, critical tools, challenges in business environment, political, adaptable, and competitive. Yes. So actually, industrial policy evolution and the economic constitution reserve sectors for the state, and the turning point, mm, like the uh, uh, like to pre 1991, you needed we need a license just to expand factory capacity. It was called the license Raj. Post 1991, the government moved from being a regulator to a facilitator. And in fiscal policy, you know the fiscal policy, the government's wallet, tools, taxation, and uh, like mm, mm, protection, public spending, and like the FRBM Act, tax initiative for R&D, infrastructure spending. So fiscal policy is now the government influences the economy through the union budget. If the government slashes corporate tax, if bottom line improves, if they spend on highways, your logistic cost drops. Monetary policy, like when the RBI raises the repo rate, your business loans are more expensive. This is the government way of coding down an overheated economy. It's delicate balancing act between uh, uh, between keeping inflation low and keeping growth high, and some exim policy and foreign trade. Under this portion, we will discuss about exim policy and foreign trade. The objectives of the exim policy and foreign trade to make India a global trading hub, and trade balance concepts of exim policy. Actually, the trade balance, special economic zones, and exports incentives are here. And recent trend of the exim policy and foreign trade is focused on Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance, alongside global integration. Or actually, exim policy is not just about shipping goods, it's just how easy it is to import raw materials to make uh, made in India products competitive in New York or London. Now we will discuss about the public sector and the development. Uh, Actually, historical role of public sector and development is building heavy industry, steel, power, where private capital was absent. Categories like Maharatnas, Navaratnas, and Miniratnas. And the modern shift, the now it's shifted on disinvestment and strategic privatizations like here in India. So the public sector undertakings were once the temple of modern India too. Today, the focus has shifted toward efficiency. If the government does not need to be in a business, it exits to let the private sector lead. So now we will ask say about the development bank. The commercial bank don't like 20-year risk. So, like the especially like a CB for small business, NABARD for agricultural, Exim Bank for the trade finance, and IDBI for large industrial infrastructures. So, development banks provide patient capital, the funds, the massive infrastructure projects, dams, ports, and factories that take years to become profitable. So, under this block, we have to cover so many points, so many uh, facts, or so many uh, mm, topics. So, we are discussing about those. So, there is some mis relation, some gaps. So don't worry. So now we will say about the economic reforms in 1991. The balance of payments crisis, only enough gold like forex for 20 weeks of import. There are a tier for balance of payments. Actually, when the export is very low, import is very high, then the gap of this both is the actually balance of payment. So in this condition, the country uh, cannot profit. So those points of view, in 1991, was Indian economy was reformed, and like the LPG framework was taken, like a liberalization, freedom to produce, a privatization, role of private sector, and globalization, open borders. So 1990 was our economic renaissance. We were forced to change by a crisis, but the change turned India into one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Now, next, the SAFE like structural adjustment programs, policy changes requested by the IMF, World Bank for financial support. This is one the policy, but there are some key measures: reducing fiscal deficits, uh, devaluation of the rupee, phasing out subsidies. So SAP was the bitter medicine India had to take, and it was painful in the short term, higher prices, less protection, but it created a more resilient market linked structure for the long term. And next, regulation of financial markets. So money market, capital market. So money market is regulated by RBI short term, and capital market is regulated by SEBI long term and stocks. So importance of this actually ensures liquidity and prevents systematic crashes. A business needs capital, whether you get it from a bank, money market, or by issuing shares. You need a fair, transparent system so investors don't get cheated. We will know about SEBI. It was founded from 1988, statutory powers in 1992, and it is the market watchdog. It is SEBI, and objectives of the SEBI is protecting investors, preventing malpractices, insider trading, and developing the market. So before the SEBI, the stock market was like the Wild West, and SEBI brought the rule of law, making it possible for millions of ordinary Indians to invest in the growth of companies like Reliance or TCS. Okay, then so from these units, an excellent product will fail in a to conclude the today's class, the Block-2, an excellent product will fail in a collapsing economy. As future managers, your job is to read these economic signals and pivot your strategy before the market forces pivot for you. Okay, so any questions can ask. Okay, if you have any questions, so we will discuss about everything. Okay, if you have any doubt to discuss, please you can ask. Thank you. Thank you.